What's up, guys? Whoa, this is high. Wait. Okay. That should be better. How's it going, guys? I'm sorry I'm late. I am very sorry, man. I literally just got home. I was at the range kind of practicing a little bit, training, and then next thing you know, I know, 30 minutes, dude. FDNY. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. Seriously, I wanted to make a cup of coffee. I couldn't, so because I don't have time. So I just grabbed the protein shake right here. What's up, Jeremy? How's it going? Scott, Steven, good seeing you again, dude. Giot, yo, what's up, man? Shiloh, what's up, man? How's it going? Good seeing you guys. I feel really bad. I'm never freaking late, man. I'm pretty disciplined when it comes to stuff like that, but I was in South Carolina at a range, and I left it theoretically in time, right? But hey, man, it was pretty crazy busy on the road. So, Vincent, first time tuning in. Good seeing you, dude. Really good seeing you. James, nothing crazy, man. I mean, this week, Clint, Ryan, and John are gone. They're doing the Surefire event, and I'm not there because let's just say I wasn't needed there. And honestly, this is good for me because I've literally been hitting the range. In the last 3 days, I've been going to the range by myself and doing some drills. Because at Classic, we do a lot of videos, right? But I don't ever get any training value. Let's just say almost any training value out of them. Because Ryan is like, hey, 3-2, and we just start talking, and then we just fire a few rounds and then give you guys our thoughts. I don't get any training out of that. So any chance I get, I hit the range. So I'm in Charlotte right now, so I drove all the way down to South Carolina, over an hour, and just did a bunch of training drills for myself. And then I just came back home, and now I'm with you guys. So that's it. How's it going, Knight? Good seeing you. Valor defends. Some guys with SAR says, hello, told me to call you Turkish Elvis. Ha! 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 Who said that to you? Who? Dylan Chabot? Yeah. Hold on, let me put the stuff on the screen, dude. There you go. Wait. Where's... There you go. How do I get a job with Classic Firearms? Dude, seriously, go to Classic Firearms. I get you some emails. Just email them. Email them your resume, your little cover letter, what you want to do. You never know. You really never know. There's a guy that just started with us. His name is Brandon. Awesome guy. He does kind of like, you don't see his face. He just kind of does like hand modeling kind of type stuff. The new thing that we're trying. That's what he did. He emailed Classic. Nobody responded. And he emailed again, and he sent his resume. And he has a full-time job. He's like, I want to work with you guys. And now he's working with us. Wait. Jams on double feed. What's that for, FDNY? Met the CEO from Turkey at the IV-888 range day. What was his name? I mean, first of all, when I left SAR, they didn't have a CEO. There's a president who owns the company, and they fired that idiot CEO. He was the biggest idiot I've ever seen. In fact, because of him, I left. I was like, I'm not working for an idiot like you. Well, I never worked for them. I was a contractor anyways. But I was like, I'm out. And then a week after I left, they fired a CEO. That's it. Andy, Kaya, can a police officer own an AR-15 in Chicago? Yes. From what that's what the challenge is, right? The rifle ban assault rifle ban in Illinois. The challenge is the Equal Protection Act. So like retirees, I think some military and police officers are exempt from that assault rifle ban. Civilians are only. So, I mean, as a former police officer, I think that is utterly unfair that civilians can't own, but cops can. So equal protection thing is what's on the table right now, arguing that. Anthony, why would you guys work with them if they're ripping people off? Who's this for, Anthony? I didn't catch that. Who are you referring to so I can actually answer? Thomas, yo, Kai, I got a bill to send you. Just got it together last week. Yeah, send it, man. Send it to my email, kai@classicfirearms.com. Send it to me. I'll take a look at it for sure. There you go. Jeremy Wilson, I bought a Radiant a few months back. Still waiting on it. Wait, is that from Classic? I don't think so. Hey, Kai, do you think that over in California they'll get their gun rights back? I am not hopeful, but I think there's I think the big court is going to see that California's magazine ban again because it got shut down, but now it's going to full circle back. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But I think California is supposed to follow the footsteps or the opinion of the Bruin. And if they follow that, it should be lifted. But I don't know, man. I don't know what California is doing. Jeremy, is Clint transitioning? Where's his voice? Oh, yeah. No, he just had a bad week. He's good. Clint, by the way, anybody who's following, who's watching right now, Clint also live streams on Mondays. So Monday nights with Clint, Wednesday nights with me, guys. Let's see. Roberto, Kai, what do you prefer, Holosun or EOTech, both with the G43? Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. They're both great, obviously, but you're going to save some money with Holosun, and they are great. So I would say Holosun. Let's see. Steve, how's it going, Steve? Good seeing you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm in need for a 9mm sight-ready high-capacity CCW. What are your thoughts? I mean, there are great options out there. Like, it's crazy nowadays that we are able to get those little micro compacts or subcompacts or hybrids, right? With like 17 round magazine capacities. So, which is amazing. I personally carry the Springfield Hellcat Pro. Not the Hellcat, because Hellcat is a little bit too small for me, because I understand having it very small is great for concealability, but at the same time, I have the damn thing on me to protect me and those around me, right? And if I can't manipulate that gun properly and effectively, then why do I care about being able to conceal it, right? So I went with the Hellcat Pro. It's the perfect size for me. It's got the 15+1 capacity with just a regular no extension. If you wanted to extend, I think you get 18 rounds from it. I don't need it. And it is cut for a dot. So I think that's a great option, but there's obviously SIG, macro, X macro. That's a great option too. G43, unfortunately, the capacity is an issue there, even with shield arms, but I'm not sure how reliable that is. So for me, well, also FN Reflex too. Well, Reflex got 13 round capacity. I guess you can have the extension, but there's FN 519C. That's also an option. Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, that's great too. Personally, Hellcat Pro is what I have. What else we got? I'm trying to, dude, ask me, anybody who's new right now who doesn't know me, I know it's going to be a month. Yeah, well, less than a month now. It's going to be a year since I've been with Classic, guys. November 1st is when I started with Classic. It's going to be a year. And I still catch a lot of crap in the comment sections, like, who's this guy? Which kind of surprises me someday. Initially, first 6 months, I was like, yeah, I get it. But at this point, I'm kind of surprised. But it's going to be a year, and but still there are people who don't know me, and I'd be very happy to talk about myself if you guys got any questions. Pocket size, we need more Kaya reviews of the community rifle builds. Yeah, dude, we can do that. I mean, last time we did it, and it was a lot of fun. We can do it time to time, not necessarily every single live stream, so we can actually answer some questions here. But 100%, dude. Let's see. Crunchy, what's up, dude? Good seeing you again. Throw those haters shades on. Dude, yeah, they're not going to be able to shake me, man. Sean, What's your opinion as a 308 rifle, a battle rifle instead of 5.56? I mean, what are we using it for? You know, I mean, a battle rifle 308. That's what I'm talking about personally. JG, Kai, what made you decide to join the FBI instead of CIA? Seems like a foreign language skills would have been a big benefit. Well, it's a great question, honestly. I was a state trooper. I was a detective with the Illinois State Police, but I've always wanted to join the Bureau because, you know, it was the premier law enforcement agency thing, right? Come on. I mean, everybody knows the FBI, right? But I tested with the FBI and the DEA. I tested with both of them. And I got to the finish line with both DEA and the FBI. But FBI offered me the job sooner than the DEA. In fact, DEA pretty much called me when I was in Quantico. And I was about a month and a half, 2 months away from graduating from Quantico, becoming an agent. So, of course, I went with the FBI. But even if they offered me at the same time, I would have gone with the FBI. And the reason for that is not necessarily the FBI is better. It's just DEA just constantly doing dope, like narcotics. I think I would probably get bored with that. But I do have a couple of buddies in the DEA that I know, and they seem like they're having a blast, right? Away from some of the nonsense that the Bureau is going through. And Bureau is absolutely rightfully going through it because I've got a lot of good friends in the Bureau, awesome agents, great people. But at the same time, the reason I left the Bureau was a couple of corrupt agents. So, you know, when you have an organization that's got over 50,000 people, you don't think there's going to be a couple of corrupt people in there? Oh, yeah, there are. So, but not all of them are bad. I know what you guys think. I get a lot of hate because I'm a former Bureau guy. But not all of them are bad. So, as for the CIA, when I was in the Bureau, and it wasn't my choice, I did work with the CIA because I did counter intel, and that naturally made me work with the CIA folks. And I promise you, it's nothing like the movies, man. Nothing like the movies. It's overhyped. Great people. In fact, the CIA guys, I like them more than some of the Bureau guys that I work with. They're awesome people. Nick, oh, where's that super chat? There you go, right here. What's up, Nick? Thanks for the $10. Appreciate you. What optic would you recommend that has a setting for expressed or optic? Expressed? Unspressed? I don't know. Just grab one. Grab any. I've never heard. If that's a thing, I don't know. I'll be the first one to tell you. Optic, the suppressor. Pretty good. The CIA tried to recruit me, but I wasn't qualified for the job. What do you mean they try to recruit you? But normally they kind of, like for the Bureau, you can send like some information about you, and they decide if they want you to apply. You can't even apply to the Bureau on your own. Like there's some questions, some stuff that you got to do first, like your resume and whatever. Send it, and then they decide if they want you to. Yeah, express sites, man. Express sites. What site's good for espresso? I don't know, man. Looks like Nick is having a good day. Good. Nick should stick to iron sights probably. But which sights? The iron sights that are compatible with the suppressors, or iron sights that are compatible with not suppressors? Unsuppressed guns. I mean, I don't know. So you guys got to give him an option. What's up, Mike? How's it going? I live in a bear country and just got a SIG P320X10. Great gun. You live in a bear country, you got yourself a 10 millimeter. Great gun, dude. Absolutely. Shooty Weapons McGee. What context would you prefer an LPV over an EOTech or vice versa? Well, obviously, so here's the thing. The LPVOs are just simply superior to your red dots or red dot with a magnifier, right? And the reason for that is if you got a decent LPVO, okay, a red dot, that's just 1x. a 3x magnifier or 5x, whatever you have, well, that gives you 3x. Fantastic, no problems. But LPVO for target identification, right? So positive identification, right? So if you got a 1 to 10 and you have some range, distance, you're at your property, right? Or if you're in law enforcement, whatever, you can just dial that to 8 power, 10 power, and you can actually identify your target more positively, right? That's target identification. Also, you can go to 2x, 3x, 4x, 4.5. Like you can actually choose what kind of magnification you want within that 1 to 10. That gives you a lot of flexibility depending on what kind of shooting you're doing and what range, what's your range. So of course it's superior. So what context you choose it, obviously something that has there's some distance between you and your target. That's what I would say. In a close quarter application, personally, it's a no-go for me. I just like my little red dot. And a magnifier helps great too. So currently I run a red dot and a magnifier. I can run it. I have a couple of LPVOs. I just think they're too heavy for what I do. So, not saying they're not better. It's just they have their downsides as well. Let's see. What else? What else we got? The lawful gun owner, light on a carry gun, I always say yes. Some people say, oh, you know what, in a civilian encounter with any deadly situation or CCW situation where you pull your gun out, that most of them don't deal with lights. I personally think it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay, as I say, you're in a dark alley, somebody's trying to rob you or whatever, pull a gun on you, and then boom, you guys get into a confrontation, right? Some sort of confrontation, and the person immediately ducks and takes cover and starts still sending you sending rounds your way. By the way, I'm freaking tired today, so that's why I'm kind of slurring my speech a little bit. I haven't had any drinks, but next thing you know, you're trying to locate. It's dark. You know, it could happen. It could absolutely happen to you, you know? So there are so many great options out there, guys, like very little, like TLR 7 subs, like those are very little, but yet very effective guns. It's not going to really make your gun much heavier. It's not going to really increase the profile all that much. You know, I say yes, for sure. Nick, $10. Thanks again, dude. I appreciate you. What I meant was, what optic would you recommend that has a 0 settings options for shooting spressed and then unspressed? I've seen them reviewed on this channel. I just don't remember. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard such thing. What is that? Is that for the Mirage that comes off the can? Like, I don't understand that. Spressed, unspressed? I mean, do you mean night vision? Okay. I've never heard this. I mean, I don't want to make an ass out of myself here, but I've never heard optic that's for spressed fire. But let me check, because if this is something, then I just learned that from you, because I obviously don't know. Optic for spressed fire. Dude, are you talking about subsonic, supersonic? That makes no fucking sense to me. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, I think wait, let me put what Ted said, because I don't know this. I think he means EOTechs that have 2 dots in the reticle, so you can 0 one for a suppressor and the other one for unspressed. That is, if that's a thing, that is so freaking technical. Like, that is so, I've never done it. Dude, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, you fire something subsonic, supersonic, that's going to be different, but suppressed versus unsuppressed, and that's there's an optic for, like, I've never heard such thing. Either, like, I mean, Nick, are you pulling my leg here? Yeah, like I I don't know what's going on here. This is funny. There you go. I think it's yeah, supersonic and subsonic. Yeah, but suppressed, unsuppressed. I think what if Nick is not trolling me, if Nick is being serious, all right, and I'll give him the benefit of that he's being serious. I think he means subsonic, supersonic fire. So the rounds. Yeah. I don't think it's just because you put a can on and the gun fires differently. Like it's no. I think he's thinking about the Wilcox 300 BO optic. Roy, he's talking about the 300 blackout optic they made. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, this is I'm gonna look this up because supersonic, subsonic, fine, but suppressed, unsuppressed. Let me see. Huh? Yeah, dude, it's there you go. I just saw, yeah, it is for the supersonic and subsonic. So it's not necessarily suppressed. So the center dot allows aiming for subsonic rounds at 50 yards and supersonic rounds at 200 yards, which 50 and 200 is same zero, right? So the lower red dot allows aiming for subsonic rounds at 150 yards and supersonic at 300. So EOTech XPS2- or TAC 300. So you're talking about the EOTech XPS 2 TAC 300. That's for supersonic and subsonic rate of fire or ammunition. So not necessarily suppressed. Dude, I honestly thought you were just trolling me. Oh, Roy. You answered that on Twitch, but I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I really appreciate you assisting. But I mean, the suppress, unsuppress, I like, because there's some trolls out there that I sometimes come across. I honestly thought this was one of them. I was like, express, unsuppressed. There's no optic for suppress, unsuppressed. But supersonic, subsonic, obviously that makes sense. So there's that. Moving on, guys. All right. MCX Spear LT or LMT 10.5 or AR in 300. Oh, okay, for home defense. I mean, honestly, dude. You know what? I'm going to go with MCX Spear LT. Yeah. Because the operation, the LMT still has a buffer tube, right? The MCX Spear LT, you know, you can fold the stock, so you can make a lower profile, and you can have a skeleton stock, lighter gun. And honestly, Spear LT is one of my favorite guns. SIG definitely did it right. It's pretty good. It is a little bit snappy. So it's not really a soft shooting AR, right? But a 300 with a suppressor, I think a Spear LT would be freaking amazing. LMT as well, but Spear LT. Ryan Scott, I got the LT in 5.56. How do you like it? It's pretty awesome, dude. When I was new with the channel, I got to shoot the 5.56 version, and me and Clint were just running and gunning with it. I couldn't believe how nice it was. And that was the first time I shot it. It was amazing. Hey, Ron, how's it going? Thanks for the question. Kaya, your thoughts on the Glock 19M MOS factory rebuilds? Did you carry the Glock 19M in the FBI? Yes, I was issued a Glock 19M in Quantico, and shortly thereafter, because it was too small for my hands, They gave me the Glock 17M, which is what the SWAT guys carried at that time. And so I have a lot of experience with the 19 and the 17M. Absolutely, it's a yes, dude. Whether you like them or you don't like them, it's a completely different thing. It's an iconic firearm that was specifically built for the FBI, period. I want that. Even if I hate the FBI, well, that gun is iconic, no matter how you spin it. So I would 100% say yes to that. So randomly epic, $5. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you. What historically significant gun would you like to own? A Thompson submachine gun. And the reason for that is, guys, I was in the FBI. Okay, so and that's a gangster gun. At the same time, the bureau, the agents back in the day used it. So absolutely a Thompson. I would love to own one of those. Just because it's iconic. Not that it's an awesome gun, it works great. None of that stuff. I probably wouldn't even shoot it. It'd just be on the wall. But because if you guys have seen some of the videos, I use the word iconic a lot. Because I just do. Because iconic stuff really catches my interest. Just like the answer I gave for the Glock 19M. Like whether you hate them or not, it's an iconic gun. It was built for the FBI. Everybody should own one. You know, that's what I think. So Thompson is one of them. JG, did you ever see any HRT guys when you were at the bureau? Of course I did, dude. I worked with them. You know? And I was trained by them. What pistol do I want that I don't have? I'm going to be honest. It's Taran Tactical's Pit Viper or Sand Viper. I've never seen in my life a flatter shooting handgun. Like Taran did it. $7,000 though. By the way, there may or may not be a collaboration between Classic and Taran Tactical. Zip it. Zip it for now. Did you get to shoot a full auto MP5 ever for any agency? No. I have fired MP5, fully auto MP5, but not for an agency. As a civilian, I did. Let's see. Murad, how did you improve your English that made you eligible and qualified enough to work for the FBI? By just being out there and speaking the language. You know, just talking every day. I was on the internet, message boards. Like my whole life was nothing but English. So naturally, I just got better. Steve, thanks again for the question. What are your thoughts on the Leo trade-ins? Dude, I think depends, right? I think they're great. Again, I'll go back to the whole, you know, it's got some cool factor to it, right? That the fact that it was carried by a U.S. police officer that has seen the streets, right? So there's that aspect of it. And plus, they're a lot cheaper. And LEO guns are well-maintained. And they've got the night sights if they're still alive, right? If they're still going. For the price, I don't think they're bad. But not always they're good deals. Oh, shit, I'm glad you asked. I just did a video, Smith & Wesson M&P M2.0 and the Glock 17 Leo trade-ins. Well, the M&P was a brand new buyback. I don't know if there is any left on Classic Firearms. I'd highly recommend you guys checking it out. There were only like 300 of them or something like that. And $399. That was the price for a brand new Sprecher Height, Sprecher Height night sights, cut for a dot, brand new Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, 3 magazines in a case, $399. Like, so good, I pick one up. So I think that would be worth it. But there are some Glocks sometimes that come in. They're decent, of course, but some of them, you look at them, they're like a little bit too beat up. So if the price is right, sure. Oh, the MMP, I highly recommend every single one of you guys right now. That gun is $399, bro. Spresser height sights, and they're night sights. Cut for a dot. 3 magazine, brand freaking new. Like, yeah, the hinge trigger, dude, Nick. There you go. Put that on the screen. Nick, the hinge trigger is, I hate it. I can't stand the hinge trigger. However, you can upgrade that to a little flat trigger. Done. Done. Hey, 13th, what's going on, man? Good seeing you again. Kai, what are your thoughts on Canik or Walther? I enjoyed the original Walther, and no matter what Canik does to refine the trigger, Walther will always be the best OG striker trigger. I agree with you, man. I would take Walther over Canik, personally. But Caniks, they're doing it, man. You got to give credit when the credit is due. In fact, today, I was just at the range shooting the Canik SFX rival at a 55 yards, iron sights, and I couldn't believe how accurate I was with that thing. And it's the damn trigger, man. They did a good job. So Canik is definitely doing a great job. But Walther, I mean, I'm going to ask you guys, Walther trigger or Canik trigger? Best versus best. I'm going to go with Walther, man. Like, personally, Canik is amazing. The trigger is amazing. But I think Walther is just maybe a step better. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Auntie. I would totally recommend that MMP. I don't even know if there's any left. Quite honestly, they may be out of stock. Let me take a look at it. That MMP on Classics, it may be out of stock because this was like a week ago. Classic firearms. I'm going to check over here. MMP M2.0. I honestly don't think it's going to be in stock anymore. Nope, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Dude, did it sell out already? Well, let me see. Let me see. Show in stock only. Guys, I think it may have sold out, man. Damn it. Hold on. In stock, Jerry? In stock. Wait, why can't I find it? Hold on. I'm going to check the email. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to find that. Smith and Wesson. Oh, I'm going to type like buyback. Let me see if that comes up. No. I'm going to put law enforcement. Trade in. Nope, not trade in. Out of stock? Dude, man, I feel bad. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I told you guys. It was literally the best buy I think we had at Classic. Oh, wait a minute. There's another great buy at Classic. I'm going to tell you guys in a second. That just got released today. But hold on. Dude, did we sell them out? I had the email. I'm sorry, guys. Because if it's in stock, I'm going to tell you guys. I may even just give you guys a link so you guys can get it. Let's see. Buy list. Where's my video? Nope, not this one. This was just last Tuesday. Yep. Okay. There we go. September 27th. There we go. Click secure now. $3.99. Tell me it's in stock, please. Oh, it's in stock. It is. Folks, did you guys, okay, let me see. It is, what's the Sprecher Height night sights? If you guys are going to search it, just search Sprecher Height night sights or something when you do the Smith & Wesson MMP M2.0. And it's LE buyback, like keyword wise, LE buyback. So I'm going to type over here, just simply LE buyback, LE buyback. And then click in stock only. Yeah, it's right here, dude. Yep, I can't show you the screen. I don't know. I don't want YouTube to attack me. But anyways, going back at it, it is, if you type on classic LE buy back, it'll come up. But you gotta click in stock only. Yeah, dude. Anyways. Yeah, what else? What else you guys got? Picked mine. There you go, Ted. Pick mine up today. Jump on that deal if you can. No brainer. Yeah, Ted, I picked one up too. Hinge trigger, I agree. Not so good. But you know what? You can change that. Oh, another thing is, if you guys haven't seen this one, where's our YouTube? What Clint did. This is Clint's. There you go. I'm going to just show you the screen right here. Share the screen. All right, have you guys seen this video? What Clint did about the traveling TSA and all that stuff with guns? I don't know if you guys have seen it. First of all, I have flown armed, but on a plane. On, you know, when I was at the Bureau, we didn't go through any security. However, I'd never flown, like I still have never flown with a check gun or guns. I legit watched this video and I learned a bunch of stuff on how to fly with check guns. So this is a pretty good video. And at the same time, these cases right here, guys, when you guys see the price, you guys are going to be like, holy crap, what the hell? 5 pistols for $69, bro. That's a pretty good deal. Brian, if there's no Glocks, in your opinion, what's the most reliable handgun? So here's the deal, Brian. Glocks are very reliable, but that doesn't mean other guns are less reliable than Glock. Like the Smith & Wesson MMP we were talking about, like the 6 Hours, like the even your Canics, even your SAR-9s, the Walthers, right? Springfield. These are just as reliable, man. Glocks are, they started it all, right? But when it comes to reliability, I really did not have any issues with my Smith & Wesson MMP over Glock. I've carried them both. They were both equally reliable. I've worked for SAR. I have no affiliation with them anymore. Nothing at all. I'm going to be honest with you. That damn SAR-9 works. That damn SAR-9 absolutely works. In fact, I would say a SAR-9 was even better than a Glock. When I say better, because it was just more ergonomic for me. I liked the grip angle. It felt better in my hand. So therefore, I was getting Glock reliability, but yet felt better in my hand. So there's so many options out there like that you can do. You can go, like, don't be afraid, man. Like, there's so many great options. You don't have to go buy a Glock, even though I love them. But reliability nowadays, companies like these, like big companies have figured it out, man. So. $69, yeah, $69. Well, $69.99. So, but seriously, man, $69 for that case is like, come on, are you kidding me? Crunchy Taco, great question, dude. Finger grooves or slick grips on handguns? What's your preference? Great question, and absolutely, utterly, without a doubt, no finger grooves, guys. I'm not a fan of finger grooves because that's not all hands are the same, right? So the finger grooves they make it less ergonomic for me. When you have just a grip, like an AR-15, like a Magpul K2, right? Or like just Magpul K2. It's a grip, you just grab it and it feels good. The A2, I hate it. There's that little thing, the little notch for like a little groove. It just throws me off. Like Glock Gen 3s, with or even Gen 4s, right? The finger grooves just never felt good. In fact, I have a Gen 3 Glock 23. I use a Dremel to shave off my finger grooves. Steve, in stock are 45 cal. What are you talking about? Which one? Binary triggers thoughts. All right, let's talk about that. Binary triggers are okay. I think they're fun to shoot, but I'm not a fan, dude. Okay, I'm programmed in a way where when I let go of the trigger, I want that gun to not go off. Sorry. And binary trigger, it goes against what I'm programmed. So you want to have fun at the range. You know how somebody gives you a full auto, you like dump a mag. Binary is good for that, but for any other applications, no, man, not for me. Don't put message on the stream, please. Mr. Good Cat Gaming. Kaya, you were an LE, right? Yes, I was, sir. Do you have any preference with handcuffs? The more specific, the better. Don't get any ASP, those plastic crap. Oh, everybody's like, oh, it's so smooth and nice. I never liked them. And I'm not a big fan of hinge handcuffs, even though they're easier to apply. I'll show you, bro. I'll show you right now. I got a bunch of handcuffs. Still back in the day from my duty days. The Kaya I've got. There you go. So these are Smith & Wesson handcuffs. And I like them. Loud. I like them, these little chains right here. Because there's hinge ones too. You guys have probably seen it. There's hinge ones. They won't rotate. So they're very good because you're able to just grab the person, just like that. You just grab the hinge. Sir, put your hand behind your back. And he just does it ever so nicely, right? Puts his hands behind his back. You grab his thumbs. Click, click. Well, I'll tell you this. One time I got into a fight with a suspect, and I had, because in the academy, some people, let me go back. In the academy, back in 2011, we were cuffing each other like 1,000 times. So hinge triggers were so much easier. Just like click, 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 click. So your partner never resisted you because you were at the control and arrest tactics. So I went and bought those. I'm on duty. I work freaking a violent town. And next thing you know, I'm fighting a guy, and he's just fighting us. And I threw one of the cuffs on the guy. He's fighting us. And for the life of me, I couldn't get the other one on because this wouldn't flex. And it was just staying the same, just in the same direction. I couldn't get it on unless I really yanked and broke the guy's arm to a certain position so I could apply it. And that is when I realized, holy crap, this hinge trigger is good when somebody's cooperating with you, but it's shitty if you're fighting the guy. So I ditched all my hinge triggers. I went classic Smith & Wesson. What was the other ones? Pearl or something like that? Pearless? I forget. It started with P. Forget those. Right here, I use these. I never had any problems with them. You throw one on, and then you can twist this around. If he's fighting you, just grab it and just figure out a way. This will twist in any direction you want and throw it on. This will be really a lot better for non-complying individuals. So Smith & Wesson. That was a long answer. Sorry about that. Peerless. Yeah, that's what it was, Kevin. Thanks a lot, man. And Mr. Good Cat Gaming. Yeah, Mr. Good Cat Gaming, hopefully that answered your question. If not, let me know. I can try further. 13th. Hey, Kaya, did you try the Huxworks sound diverter? If so, is it good for the shooter? Stamps to be damned. I have not. I've only tried Huxworks, just good old suppressors. I don't know what the sound diverter is. I'd have to check it out. Let's see. Let's see what else. What else we got? Mr. Good Cat Gaming. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Absolutely. Are you in law enforcement? All right. What else we got here? Hey, how's it going, Garrett? BCI and B5 MacBook durability, all the same plastic. Nailed it. All the same plastic, dude. I think BCI and B5 MacBook all about the same, man. They got maybe a little different styles, different color combinations, but I think they're all the same. What is the best 308, 762 as of today? Oh, man, that's a hard question. That's going to be very subjective. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. The MCX Spear is very good, like nice, tight, good gun. But for what it is, it's too snappy. So because of that, I like the Scar 17 over the MCX. For a while, I liked this Spear better. But Spear, it's too snappy, man. If you guys have fired a Scar and a Spear, you'll see Spear's like, bang, it's like a cannon for what it is. So I'd say Scar 17, I like that. Oh, there you go. King, you just asked me that, so I just answered that for you. What else? When are you guys going to do suppressors and different kinds of mounts? Like, what do you mean? I'm not sure if I understand. I just realized my super chat went unanswered. Wait, hold on. Let me go up there. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to find it. Where? When did you send it to me? Oh, clicked on it. Does any company make a long, scoutish eye relief magnifier to run in front of the red dot? I can't find one, but I don't know why it isn't a thing. Oh, dude, that's a great point. First of all, thanks for the super chat, man. I apologize, I missed it. I don't know, man. If you can find one, if anybody knows in the chat, let me know. That's how I got a scope bite once at Classic. It was Clint's setup. I just simply grabbed the rifle from the Clint while we were filming. I didn't check anything at all, which was my mistake. I went down on the gun, prone, and I had this giant eye relief, so I had to, in order to mitigate that, I really got very close to the magnifier, and I was shooting the MCX Spear, and I was right here with proper eye relief. Well, guess what? That thing is snappy, so I took a scope to my forehead, start bleeding from that. So I wish that was a thing. If somebody has it, I haven't seen it. I mean, I've been using the EOTech G43s, G33s, 45s, and they even I got the Mac 3X magnifier too from Germany, the company that I work with, and the same thing. The eye relief seems to be you got to get really close up on it. Any point in running 300 blackout if you're not going to suppress it? I don't see any point because at about 7-inch barrel, you get full powder burn. So 7 inches, 8 inches barrel for a 300 blackout seems to be the appropriate barrel length. And right there, you'd suppress it. Really compact, little gun, great for CQB home defense. But if you don't suppress it, that's freaking concussive as hell. What's the point, right? Ryan, how's it going, man? Good seeing you. Thanks a lot for the $5 super chat. What's the funniest or weirdest item you found on a person while searching them? Oh, shit. Does a dead person count? Let me know. Because that's what came to my mind right away. The guy was dead. And we are the one that shot and killed him. Let's just say that. It wasn't me. I mean, when I say we, it was us cops. Crunchy, where are you going, dude? Take care, buddy. Have a good night. Good seeing you again. I'll see you next Wednesday. There was my buddies, there's this dude, he had a gun on him. He was wanted and all that stuff. My buddy stopped him. And next thing you know, the dude pulls a gun on him and I think he sent a couple of rounds towards my buddy, but my buddies shot and killed him. Well, in fact, I mean, let's just say this: he had a round in his heart, but he shot himself in the head, right? Popped himself while getting shot by other cops. Well, anyways, I was a detective, so I got on scene. We were searching his bag. He was a 49, 50-year-old man, married, kids, and everything. We searched his bag. His bag had a giant bra. Like, I first found the bra. They were so big, like triple D's or something, like big-ass bras. And I just got the bra out, and there's some clothes and whatever. I just got big thong. Like, this dude was a big guy a little bit, okay? Big-ass thong, lace thong. I was like, oh, man, what we're thinking is like, oh, he likes him big, He's a big guy. He probably likes a big girl. That's what we thought. Then on the side of the bag, we opened the side of the bag, and there's these two giant silicone breasts. Then we continued searching the bag, heel, shoes, and a wig, blonde wig. That is when we looked at each other, we're like, oh, well, we don't judge here. So that was a thing. There's another one. I responded to a body found on the side of a highway when I was a trooper. Well, I got on scene. The call came in as like there is a little female, body wrapped in a blanket, dumped on the side of a highway. Now that happens, guys. I've been to multiple calls like that where it was, real body. People dump bodies on the highways too. Yeah, King, that was a cross-dresser. Yep. And so anyways, I get to the scene and the caller says, there's no head. The girl is beheaded and it's wrapped up in a blanket. I'm like, oh God, this is going to be bad because they're saying that looks like a kid, like a small girl. I get to the scene and you know how there's a ditch, right? And this is not the middle ditch, the side. And there's like tree line and everything. Excuse me. So I can see the legs, like the feet are sticking out. That's it. And rest is just with a duct tape. And there's no head. And I get there. I try to like open it up and I don't see any blood. Get a little bit closer. I grab the feet. I was like, oh boy. That was one of those lifelike trucker's girlfriend doll. So that was it. So we opened that up and checked it out and photographed it. Oh yeah, some trucker abused that for quite some time. And I was worn out big time. There's so many things like that, dude. There's stories and stories and stories. Andy, Kai, how many times have you pepper sprayed someone on duty? Give us some stories. Let me tell you something, guys. I pepper sprayed somebody one time. Years of first 6 years I was a city cop. And I'll never change those years for anything. I absolutely had a blast. I learned so much. I've seen so much. I met awesome people. 6 years, hundreds of fights. One time I pepper sprayed somebody. And I said, I'll never do it again. And, and that was actually pretty scary. I did a traffic stop. And it was broad daylight, but it was raining. I did a traffic stop because this dude was kind of circling around. I was like, what's going on? This looks shady. And so he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. I was like, cool, that's my excuse. PC. Stopped him. When I stopped him, as soon as he pulled over, both doors opened up. Of course, I drew my gun. The driver, this Mexican dude, Hispanic dude, well, he was Mexican. He just moved from Mexico a couple months prior, like first time in the U.S. And there's this prostitute. Took off running. They're both running in the same direction. And I said foot pursuit, and I began chasing this guy. I remember I was passing the girl. The girl was so slow. I just simply passed. And I was one of those people who, when I did foot pursuit, I'd always like talk to people who was running from me. Like I'd be behind them, I'd be like, you better stop or it's going to be bad. Or you're going to hospital. Like I would just say stupid things. I would not have taser. I'd be like, I'm about to tase you, taser, 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 I'd say. And they would just sometimes lay down on the ground. I didn't even have a taser. So I'd do stuff like that. So when I was passing the girl, because I was focused on the driver, the guy, I said, I'm going to get you. Literally, I was just passing. I'm going to come back and get you. So I kept going. Caught the guy, and the guy ended up fighting me. So we're fighting in an alley together, just me and him. It's raining. So I had him at pretty good back control, right? And so I was like, oh, wait, I'll use my pepper spray because he's still like kind of flopping around like a fish, and I can't control him. So I grabbed my pepper spray, and I've got his head literally right here, just like that. Just like that. So I just grab my pepper spray, and I, instead of doing it like this, so I pepper spray him like that. Well, this is over there too. And the pepper spray wasn't a spray, it was a stream. And it was a pretty good stream because you could hit somebody like within 20 feet, 15 feet. And it hit him right in the forehead. I'll never forget it. Like it almost slow motion, right? Hit him right in the forehead, deflected into my eyes. So I pepper sprayed myself in a fight where I could lose my life. I don't know what this guy has. And it was just him and I. So I got so like it was so funny. So I got pepper sprayed. So my eyes are like burning. My face is burning. I can't see. It's blurry, whatever. So, and I noticed that this guy didn't get pepper spray because he's looking pretty good, right? So I'll never forget. I like try to wipe, just naturally, you try to wipe the pepper spray off your eyes, you know, even though you're not supposed to, right? So I did this, and then I grabbed my hand, I just rubbed all over his face. So I would use the pepper spray off of my face into his face to get him too. And that worked a little bit. And I held on to him until my backup arrived, and he went to the hospital. Then we took him to jail. I'm not in it anymore, so you can't complain. And yes, I documented everything. Okay. So, what's up, JC? Good seeing you again, man. Kaya, how are traces run on guns involved in crimes? Ooh, well, there's a lot of ways. Thomas, did I get the prostitute? Dude, I didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get her. She got away. How are traces run on guns that are involved? Obviously, there are multiple techniques to that. I don't want to, like on a live stream, I don't want to go into details because there are some techniques. But there is a new technique now because, you know, on a shell casing, normally when, you know, you have your fingerprint on a bullet, right, the ammo. But when you fire the gun, your fingerprints they burn off, right? The DNA, the fingerprints burn off. There is a new technique now. They are able to retrieve fingerprints off of even fire shell casings. But anyways, your gun's hammer or striker has a specific profile, okay? So when you have a casing and you have a gun, both of them, you can get a positive match. Now, not always we have the guns, we have the casings all over, but not the guns, right? So you collect those casings and you submit them to the lab. And then you collect other casings from other scenes, and they're able to match if that gun was in different scenes. So I've got my Glock 19, my personal one, let's say. I do a shooting here. The casings are collected by detectives. Then 2 days later, I go back to somebody else's location. I do another shooting there. Well, cops collect that one too. That's submitted on a lab. Then a week later or a month later, I do a murder somewhere, and then boom, casings there. They're able to identify those casings all came from the same gun based on the characteristics of those casings. There's a system for that. So at least they're able to identify that. So there are other techniques, obviously. But once you get the gun, you're able to seal the deal. Spare firing pins. So spare firing pins wouldn't work. First of all, it's you're not going to do that. And it's not just a firing pin. You know, it's the guns that slide as well. It's like a fingerprint of that gun. And at the same time, when you collect the projectile from wherever, like from the walls or from a car, from a body or a person, and you can also match those projectiles to a specific gun too. There's so many techniques, man. The forensics are insane. Does using latex gloves? Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the perfect crime here. Good evening, George. Garrett, does using latex gloves or any solvent stop fingerprints? So here's what I say about the whole latex gloves. Let me tell you guys this. So yes, you use your latex gloves to prevent leaving your fingerprint behind. That works. I agree with you. However, I have my latex gloves. Let's just go through a scenario, and you guys can just give me the answer. I got my latex gloves, and I decided to go rob a liquor store, right? I put my gloves on, then I go ahead and grab my gun. Then I grab my phone. Hey, homie, you coming? We're going to rob that liquor store or what? Or text him. Then we go out there and we rob the liquor store. All right? You don't think you left some DNA behind? In those places where you would have left fingerprint, but you left DNA behind? Take a wild guess. Do you think my DNA exists on this phone right now? What do you guys think? Of course, right? So if I have my gloves in my hand and I grab this phone, don't you think I transferred some of my DNA on these gloves? And with that being said, now with the gloves, I pressed onto this counter or whatever, or I just touched somewhere. Don't you think I may have transferred some DNA onto those surfaces? So, dude, it's like very sophisticated nowadays, man. Seriously, it is. If the crime scene investigator does his job or her job very well, it's almost impossible to not leave anything. Yeah. Never bring your phone. That's right. Go butt naked and just wear a mask so you don't get COVID, because that's the only threat. Billy, Kaya, you might not want to answer some of these questions. Oh, I've learned them all on Forensic Files, guys. So it's on TV. Ryan, dude, that first story definitely had a twist. That second one went from possibly a very bad situation to cringe relief and a bit of comedy. Yeah. True, dude. Yeah. There's a lot of stories like that, man. Dude, I geek out on the paranormal stuff. The paranormal stories. Like, I'll tell you guys a story, and you guys can tell me if you believe it or not. This was, and I actually read the report too. Anybody who's into this whole paranormal stuff, you don't have to believe it. They're entertaining to tell or listen to. But I'm going to look. J954, I'll look at your stuff in a second. Let me tell the story. So my sergeant in Rockford PD that I used to work at, she and a detective and two patrolmen, like four of them, get dispatched to a house, burglary in progress. I wasn't a police officer then. She was telling us the story. So this is not some story she heard from somewhere. This is a story that she actually experienced on duty, and she was telling us with a detective and two other police officers. And there was a report on it, and I read the report, which was like crazy. So they get a burglary in progress call. They respond to this call. They get there. So before the protocol is this: when somebody calls you burglary in progress, hey, somebody's in my house, dispatch generally keeps them on the phone. And then they give us updated information. Hey, 4445, whatever your call signs are. Burglary in progress. Say, a victim or caller says that somebody's in the house. This broke the window, door, whatever. And that's a lights and sirens situation. That's like code 3, priority 1. So you get there, and then you do your thing. So Sergeant, at that time, she was a patrolwoman. She gets on scene with a gang detective that was also in the area, gets there, and 2 patrol guys get there. While they're getting there, the lady says, me and my sister, they're both in their 50s, are upstairs in the closet hiding. There are more than one person in the house. They're downstairs, and it seems like they're fighting. There's like things breaking downstairs. And mind you, this is just a single household, single home, or single family home. So it's not like some apartment this sound could possibly come from somewhere else. So she's like, hey, they're fighting. There's something going on. They're breaking things and all that stuff. And then dispatch can hear some of this stuff very faintly in the background. It says, officers are en route. These officers get on scene and they approach the house. As they approach the house, they hear clearly on the other, like inside the house, there's some commotion going on. Some like tables are being turned over and whatever. So my sergeant at that time, but she was a patrol officer, she gets to the door, right almost against the door, and she sees somebody almost slam, almost like you grab somebody and hit him against the door. It's like the door just made this noise and just shook, and they all saw it. And Sarge over the radio says, ask him, we're going to break the door in. We're going to break her door and we're going to come in. And the lady says, do whatever you need to do. Come save us. So the detective, I believe, the gang detective, they kick the door in. When they kick the door in, they're obviously announcing police. A couple of times they kick. Once the door opens, because they're like saying whatever's happening is happening right in front of them, like right on the other side of the door. When they open the door, open the door, nothing. There's just nothing. Nothing disturbed, nothing broken, everything orderly, dark, nobody, nothing. So they get in, they're like, oh, what's going on? They're still obviously doing their thing. They search the house, and they go upstairs, and they find the lady and her sister, they're both in their 50s, in the master bedroom closet, hiding, and they are absolutely terrified. Terrified. So they get him, and they're like, okay, well, we can't, there's nothing. What's going on here? Lady is like, what do you mean what's going on? They were downstairs. There were just things breaking and walls were hitting, all crazy things. And my sergeant at that time, she says, yeah, I know, we heard it too, and there's nothing now. No windows open, nothing. Just no explanation. I don't know. But that's the story. And everybody was very baffled with this. And they look at each other. They're like, well, we broke the lady's door. What do we write? What do we write in this report? And they all come to a decision that, hey, you know what? We are literally going to write what we just experienced. And they write it just the way I explained to you guys. That's it. What I just told you was in the report. They don't know. So here it is. I don't know. Whether you guys believe in the whole paranormal stuff or not, I don't know. I mean, I believe 99% of them are bullshit or they have some explanation to it. But there is that 1% that you're like, okay, how do you explain that? So there's that. This was one of them. I don't know. How do you explain that? So moving on. I don't know. Ghost? I have no idea. But when she told us that story, I was like, holy crap. Bro, what was in that report? Yeah, dude. What was in that report? What was in that report was we got there. The mayhem's going on. So we break the door in, guns blazing, and there's nothing. Nothing disturbed. No suspects. So, Who you gonna call, man? Ghostbusters. Patrick, music and lyrics. Kaya, do you know how to play those things behind you? Or are they just there so you can pretend to be cool? Well, Patrick, okay, your name says Patrick, music and lyrics. Clearly, you're a musician. And if there's any musicians in the chat, there's no way I can play those things. Because I suck at playing them, I'm like, okay, everybody's judging me right now. I can't play them. And every time I live stream, I end the stream playing the Star Spangled Banner. But I'm not good. I'm not good at all. Oh, dude, I was going to answer this super chat. There you go. J954556, my favorite caliber. Yo, what up, Kaya? I got $1,000 burning a hole in my pocket. All right, I'll give you my Venmo. What do you think is more relevant? The shit hits the fan situation, espresso for AR, or a satellite phone? Espresso for home, for AR. I'd say espresso, dude, because they're just fun. Because espresso for AR is also going to be handy for a SHTF situation. A satellite phone, dude, I think they're very good. Are you a hiker? Do you go out there, you hunt? Like, do you ever find yourself in locations where you don't have cell signal for quite some time? If that's the case, like, I like hiking, so I would love a satellite phone. But if you're not that guy, then who cares? I would recommend everybody get your ham license and get a ham radio and figure that stuff out so you're prepared. But if you're that guy, a satellite phone or else espresso, dude, for sure. Moving down. What else? There was another one. Chris, how's it going, man? Thanks a lot for the $5. I want to get rid of my P365X macro. What would you? Oh, okay, dude. Okay, good. It's a good gun, but I feel like maybe a little bit big. Well, first of all, tell us why you want to get rid of it. And what do you use it for? What would you trade it up to? I checked out the Echelon is too large. I do love my PDP compact. Well, Echelon and P365X macro are just different class guns, right? The X macro is more like concealed carry, and Echelon is a duty gun. So comparable to X macro, again, it doesn't have a compensator, but I have the Springfield Hellcat Pro. I love that thing. It's great for carry, but I'm not sure if you're going to gain much by dumping the P365X macro. So let me know why you're dumping it. So see if I can come up with something else for you. Randomly epic, $5. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. What's the funniest thing you saw in law enforcement? Funniest thing? I generally have seen bad things. Dude, I've seen a lot of funny stuff. Can I think about this for a minute? Let me think about it for a minute, please. Oh, concealed carry. Okay. Well, Chris, there you go. There's Ripple Coyote. Hold on. Macro is way better than either of those for carry. Wait, Josh, you're saying macro is better than the Hellcat Pro? Is that what you're saying? That's because you carry it. Chris, went back to SIG 3 times for repairs. They finally threw their hands up and sent me a brand new gun. I don't trust them. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. Have you looked into the Shield Plus? Smith, I don't know why Smith is not getting some of the things that they deserve. I feel like Smith has been absolutely killing it lately. Like the 10mm they came out with, by far, it blew my mind. The 5.7 that they came out with, amazing. And the Shield Plus, fantastic. M&P, I carried on duty. It was great, except the stupid hinge trigger, which now they have the flat face trigger, which is great. So I'm going to be honest with you. The Shield is pretty good. Shield Plus, right? I have the Springfield Hellcat Pro. I love the gun. It shoots great, feels great, great capacity. No problems, man. So I depend on my life with that gun. So And Springfield has been killing it lately too. Yeah. I love my M&P 40. Yeah, dude. They're good. They just are good. Like, I know, like, I'm a Glock guy. I love them, right? That doesn't mean Glocks are the best. I'm a Glock guy because they freaking gave me a Glock when I was in LE, and that's what I knew. But they also gave me M&P. Yeah, M&P never failed me either. So, I mean, CZs are good too, Tom. Yeah, I just see that. They're very good too. What else we got? Hellcat or Reflex? I'm going to go with Hellcat. Why? We have the Reflex. We're going to do a video on it. You guys are going to get a little spoiler or like we haven't even done the video, but I know what to say about this part. Bro, Reflex, for the life of me, I can't press the slide stop lever or slide release lever and send a slide home. That thing is so low profile, so slim, to a point where it's no longer efficient. You really got to rack it with your hand and send the slide home. I don't like that. And other than that, I think a Reflex is great. Reflex definitely did a great job with the trigger. Trigger is fantastic. Trigger is better than a lot of other micro compacts. But I reload like that, guys. So I bring the gun to my workspace, right? The mag is out. I put the new one in. Generally, when I slam it hard, the slide goes home with Glocks, M&Ps. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But on that gun, it doesn't, right? And some other little micro compact, it doesn't. And then I use my thumb, like I just do this, thumb to push down the slide release lever, and slide goes home. I don't do the thing. I don't do that, right? I used to when I was first new to this gun space, but over time I transitioned to that thumb down, boom. If it doesn't go on its own, I use my thumb. And with Reflex, I am unable to send the slide home unless I rack it. And I don't like that. It's a big deal for me. John, you'll never go with Smith & Wesson, period. End of discussion. Class dismissed. I agree with you. I agree. Smith & Wesson, you will not go wrong. One car fast. Kai, you seen Beretta NARP? I have not. What is that? Marlo, wait a minute. Okay. Dude, it's great seeing you, man. Where have you been? Water detail or work detail? Nobody in this freaking live stream will get what you're saying right now. I love it. You just made my night, dude. Anybody who doesn't know who this gentleman is, he's my trooper buddy, my classmate of the Illinois State Police Academy. And a water detail or work detail? I'm going to be honest with you. That's a hard question because water detail was just for the half hour you were there, but they kick your ass. Work detail, you could kind of screw around a little bit. Well, let me ask you this, Marlo. How many people are on the work detail? And then I'll give you my answer. Because water detail, there's 6 people. You and I both know that. 6 people, water detail. How many people are on work detail? If it's just a couple people, screw that. If it's like 30 of us, like when we were first starting the boot camp, oh yeah, work detail, because I could hide. Man. All right, so what are we? You guys are still talking about the SIG? Where's Matt? Dude, Matt's not going to do live streams all the time. The guy's married with kids. He works the warehouse. He's home. He's home with his family. Good seeing you, man. Good seeing you, Marlo. Good old days, bro. Good old days. Man. You CSI now? I think you are, right? You told me that? You probably hate it like I did. Steve, you don't suck at playing. I can't host you on the radio. You talking about me? Oh, I really do suck, man. I could do some metal stuff I like, but man. Spring greetings from Adana. Greetings to Adana. All right. Let me know when Kaya shows how well he can play those guitars. Patrick, I told you, for as long as you're in the live stream, I can't play. Because there's a musician on the live stream. You're going to judge me like crazy. All right. Giovanni, trying to get in the firearms world work-wise. Any recommendations on where to begin? I live in Illinois. Okay, step one, move out of Illinois. And then come back at me and I'll help you. Giovanni, good seeing you, dude. What martial arts would you recommend? As a world champion, I will tell you, I'm not a martial arts guy. I do like jiu-jitsu. I've been doing that for years. So I recommend jiu-jitsu. All right, let's see. Is it true that police don't care about public safety and only officer safety? I don't think that's true because, and the reason I say that, so officer safety comes into play in certain areas, right? So we're talking about you do a traffic stop, right? You do a high risk stop. You do some proactive stuff. Of course, you're going to have a lot of officer safety. So, okay. This is not going to be an easy answer. Officer safety is always important because if the officer isn't safe, you aren't going to be either if you call them there to protect you or help you with something. Let's say you are in a bind, you're like fighting, you know, your husband is beating the crap out of you or trying to kill your boyfriend, something bad, right? Some violent stuff going on to you. The officer has to care about the officer's safety. Just like on an airplane. You got to put the mask on to yourself first before you put on your baby, right? Because if you can't take care of you, then you're no good to anybody. In police work, we would say, if you can't get there, you're no good. So same thing applies to that. So officer safety has always very important so officer can aid for the public, right? But look at the situations officer get into all the time. You call him for a domestic and he gets there and he fights with his life or her life to protect whoever is the victim there, right? Against the assailant. So police care deeply about public safety as well as their own safety. That would be my honest answer. All right. Carlson, is the 509 TAC and 510 TAC with the money? What do you, Carlson, can you expand on that question? I love the 510. I love the 510. Clint has one. Clint has one. I mean, again, I only fired a couple of mags max. Loved it. Loved it. Greedy Goblin. Cops are not obligated to risk their lives, even though they portray that they do. It's all about them, not the public. Now, I know there was a Supreme Court case, I guess, cops aren't obligated to protect, I know that there was that. But I was on the streets, man. I worked alongside men and women. And are there cops out there who don't care? I'm sure. There are bad apples everywhere. But folks that I work with, awesome people, man. Like they would go into a burning building, even, to save people, like active shooter stuff. You see nowadays, guys, I mean, look at some of the active shooters. What about the Nashville shooter? Did you guys not see those cops rush right in and ran towards a gunfire and took the frickin' perp out? Come on. When you go extreme on one side, you're just losing all credibility. Cops may not be obligated to risk their lives, but they're still human. They still have morals. They still took an oath. All right, so they're good people. They go out there and they try. They try, okay? There are cowards out there, but that doesn't represent all of them. That's the exception, guys. All right, moving on. Okay, he's asking if they're worth the money. FDNY, thanks for clarifying for me. In my opinion, 509, I don't care for it. 510, I was utterly impressed. I would have to shoot some more to determine, but I was utterly impressed with it. Blue all the way, John. Hell yeah, brother. Again, I'll be the first one to call out bad cops. And I have. On my personal channel, I've said, that cop is an idiot. He shouldn't be a cop. I've said it. I've said it many times. But for the most part, they're good people. Yeah. Staccato worth the money? Dude, it really, that worth the money, it's going to be very subjective. To some, it may not be worth the money. Some, hell yes, it is. So it really depends on what you like, what's your budget, and all that stuff. To me, they're amazing. I fired them. They're really good. It's just something that I'm not willing to spend the money on. Steve Hughes, local police in my small town work to help people all the time. Agreed. Like I'm telling you, man, we're human too. Like, cops tend to be insensitive. True, because you really can't take everything to heart, because then you're just, within 5 years, you're gonna go crazy, right? Because you see so many bad things. Nobody calls cops to say hi. Everybody calls you in their worst behavior, man. And you got to go out there and deal with them. They call you all kinds of names, spit in your face and fight you. And your mind is just going 1,000 RPM every given moment on duty, because you just got to be always tactical, thinking about safety and this and that. Like, imagine just living a life like that every day in, day out. That when you go to work, people are going to call you when they're in their worst behavior, and everybody's going to lie to your face for 10 hours straight, whatever your shift is. And everybody's going to, there are bad people out there. They're going to try to hurt you, and you got to be really in your A game or on your A game. It's tiring. So naturally that kind of makes certain cops a little bit insensitive. There are bad cops out there. Like most recently, I was with Classic. We were actually going to shoot a segment in Walmart for something. And Ryan, our camera guy, he mistakenly, while he was filming, ran into a little bucket of something right there, right? And the bucket fell. And Walmart employees came up to us, and they're like, hey, you can't film in here. We're like, why not? Well, you can't. It's our policy. I can bring my manager. So we waited for the manager. Manager came up. The manager's like, you guys are going to have to leave. Okay. Nope, no questions. We just left. As we left, we got to the parking lot. The security calls the police on us. This happened like literally, 3 months ago. The security calls the police on us. And next thing you know, the sheriff's deputies happened to be there. Comes up to us, this douchebag cop, right? Walks up to us, attitude, straight up, right off the gate attitude. He's like, hey, I'm going to need you guys' IDs. These guys want you guys banned, and we're going to have to go and ban you from this Walmart. I just laughed. I was like, what? What are they calling you for? It's like, you guys being disorderly in there. I said, okay. That's what they told you, right? Yeah. Did you ask him any questions? He's like, I don't have to. That's what the guy said. That's what the cop told me. He said, I don't have to. I said, what do you mean you don't have to? He's like, I don't have to. They don't want you here. I said, okay, I'm leaving. It's like, but they want you banned. For what? What's their property? They can do whatever they want. I said, I don't care, but for what? You guys are being disorderly. I said, did you verify if we were being disorderly? They can ask us to leave, and we left. They don't want us here. We're out of here. But did you ask him? I literally called him out. I said, you walked up to us, straight up, that you believed that we were being disorderly. In fact, none of us were being disorderly. In fact, there you go. They're actually filing a false police report with you. Did you ask him that? Like I just straight up just got into it with this guy, and the other guys are cool. I looked at him. I was like, dude, I put that uniform on. I've banned people also from Walmart. Like I've went and did it, but I always ask questions. I always checked out what was going on. I didn't just go with blanket statement from some turd and then treated the other party based on what you just heard. And well, he kind of got the point at the end. So there are idiots like that too who are on power trips too. No, trust me, it was a deputy. I put him in his place and in the nicest way possible. But there are idiots like that. That's why cops, I even told him, I said, dude, that's why people fucking hate us. Look at the way you, like, I did this job and I'm already worked up with you. An average citizen would be even more upset with you because of the way you just approached me. You know? Because of the way you approached me. I'm like, you just, and then guess what? We had the video. There's no disorderly. Oh, it's a Walmart. Yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, so I put him in his place and I left. Yeah. It just like, it was unnecessary. You could be firm with people, but you could be very fair, you know? Scott, St. Paul PD is top-notch, Minneapolis PD sucks. Anybody still applying to be a cop nowadays? I'm curious. I really am curious. All right. Moving on. What else we got? Dude, any other questions? Let me see. Will you guys be participating in NSGW? No. Unfortunately not, man. If you had $1,000, what firearm would you buy for a self-defense situation? I mean, are we talking about like home defense? Like I'm going to be at home, or is it just like one of those things, the handguns that I'll carry? Because handguns that I'll carry, dude, I'm good. I don't need $1,000. I got my Hellcat Pro. Got the decent sights on it. Got a magazine of 15 rounds plus one, an extra 15 in my pocket. Good to go. I'm happy with it. But if it's a rifle, so I'm assuming you got $1,000 you want to spend, but just let me know, is it for home defense or is it just going to be for CCW? Hey, Kyle, what's your thoughts on lady officers? I mean, there were some lady officers that I work with. I was like, yep, I'll go to war with this woman. And there were some lady officers, and anybody who's a cop or former or current will agree with me on this one. And there are some lady cops that you're like, oh my God, like I'm gonna get killed, not because I can't take care of myself. I'm just gonna get killed while trying to take care of my partner. And they're gonna ambush me or something. Like that bad. We had one, and I'm not gonna give names. We had one, I don't even know how. Like she was so bad. Like she was so bad, and I'm just gonna imitate this. Like, let's say I'm fighting somebody, she would literally stand over us. Hey, stop my partner! Don't touch him! Don't punch him! Like that's how she was. Legitimately, I'm not trying to make this up. Like she was that useless. And there's just another officer that I work with, and I'll give her name because that's proud. Macias, female. I work with her. Oh, she was feisty. I'd go to calls with her. I know she's gonna fight. Like she may not be as strong as maybe some big guy, right? But she had the heart. She had the heart. So, another thing about lady officers, not everything is a fight. Dude, what I learned with female officers, they're so good at talking to people. Not all, because there are some, just like anybody, the bad ones. But I don't know if it's a subconscious thing where they are not as physically capable, like when it comes to fight, as a biological male. And their reasonings or the approach in verbal judo, whatever you call it, is developed more. I don't know. They were very good at talking to people. At the same time, folks were less threatened by a female officer as opposed to a male officer. So I go to a domestic, right? And a dude and his wife is fighting. And of course, what he's thinking is like, this is my life. Like, who are you to tell me how to live my life, how to be in my relationship, right? Because it's a very emotional thing. I, as a guy, when I show up as a man, now it's two roosters and a chick in a cage, and this is happening in front of his kids and his wife. He's got this pride. But when it's another female, my experience is they tend to be calmer towards them. So I don't know. Moving on. Ooh, there you go. Brandon Melendez, $4.99. Thanks, dude. What's your opinion on defunding the police, and what would you do to make the force better as a whole? First of all, I'll tell you this, what I would make. Defunding the police is bullshit, because when you defund the police, like you're trying to punish the police department. No, you are legitimately punishing that community. That's it. That's exactly what you're doing. You defund the police. If you want to punish the community that you live in, the fastest way to do is to defund that police department, defund that fire department. Defund those organizations that actually public serving organizations. That's it. Your people are going to suffer. Criminals are going to. The only thing that's standing between the order and chaos is those freaking officers on the streets, man. Right? They just do. Can you imagine? You remove cops, bad people, like a lot of people aren't doing things, not because it's wrong to do, because of the consequences, man. That's a fact. So you remove the consequences, or at least decrease them significantly, well, you're looking for trouble. So I don't agree with defunding the police. In fact, I would march on the streets, say, we need to fund the police departments even more, because how would I fix the force, make the force better as a whole, is increase training. Like, dude, everybody thinks cops are out there tactical training all the time. We use our guns very, very seldom. But you talk to people all the time. You come across crisis situations all the time. Cops need to learn to de-escalate things when necessary, because sometimes you don't need to. Like, you have to immediately act. So I would train cops legitimately on a given month, sorry. And there's 40 hours work week, right? I would make 40 hours a month, and I know this is going to sound maybe radical, 40 hours a month training for police officers. That would mean a hell of a lot more money, more officers to staff, so you can have that. But I would 100% throw 40 hours a month training. Why do SWAT teams train multiple times a month? All the time. SWAT guys are training all the time. Well, fuck, officers need to train that much too. Not necessarily maybe on tactics, but many other things. When I say 40 hours training, don't think of the range. They're just shooting guns. No, 40 hours training, and you would write that curriculum in a way where there'd be medical training, first responder training. Then you'd have verbal judo's crisis intervention techniques, stuff like that, and negotiation stuff, tactics training, control and arrest tactics, because those control and arrest tactics actually do save lives, right? Because if you start flopping around like a fish, next thing you know, the cop is going to have to use his gun or her gun. But if you actually know some tactics, you may be able to pin the person down and control them in a way where you don't get to kill them, right? So training, I would fund the police department even more and implement training. And absolutely, guys, the hiring standards should not be lower. But right now, all departments are going pretty low levels when it comes to hiring. Because they don't have officers. They need officers. They're hiring shitbags, and those shitbags are going out there and doing some stupid things, and more cops are on the news, and people hate cops more. It's a freaking revolving door, like never-ending cycle. You got to hire good cops. In order to attract good cops, you have to have certain programs, like extra high level of training, and perhaps incentives too nowadays. I know some departments are doing that. Yeah. Yeah. David 499, thanks, dude. Any experience with BD Quantum? Dude, I have no experience with that, man. I'm so sorry. I wish. I got none. Anybody else in the chat has experience with that? That could help David? "95% of cops are fine. The media focus on white cops and black criminals. Why act surprised?" There is that. Any police officers watching right now, if there are any, and I'm guilty of this myself too, so it's the emotions, man. It's the emotions that get to us too. People press our buttons on the streets, put a camera in our faces, or flip us off when we're driving. Like, oh, you were not wearing your seatbelt. In fact, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the real reason. The guy flipped us off, so let's find a reason to screw this guy. Pick your battles, man. That's what I learned. Pick your battles. We don't need to die on every hills, you know? So I think the emotions get to us a lot. So good cops do get in trouble because in a given moment, the emotions get in the way, and next thing you know, you make one stupid mistake, and you're on YouTube, and 20 years you did all kind of cool stuff. You got medals and all the letters of commendations and all that stuff, and one idiot put a camera to your face and you said something stupid or punched him in the face, and now you are just a terrible police officer and worthless to community, which is not true. So going back to training, I think those trainings would definitely help those cops too. So thanks, John. Appreciate you, man. Defunding the police is the only radical play of the left. I agree. You guys remember Seattle, the Chaz or CHOP on Seattle, that little 7-block radius where Black Lives Matter protesters like took over the city council of Seattle and took that area where that was like the free zone. Guys, I was there. And it was insane how people thought, like, they legitimately thought that police was the problem. And they legitimately did not want any police. And they got what they wanted for, I don't know how long it was. I don't remember. For a 7 blocks radius, right? They did not have police, fire, nothing. They self-governed. There were rapes in there. There was a murder in there. There were just like fights in there, theft in there. It was a shit show. And they themselves, those folks in there, realized that no, this no cop thing wasn't working. Residents in that area, poor residents, because they didn't choose that. It was just their area was taken, basically. They were just begging for order. So that area was a very small study that without cops, we're all doomed. You don't like law enforcement? You think you could take care of yourself? Good. I'm fine. But not everybody is like you, man. So law enforcement is needed. I'm not in it anymore. But it's one of those things that is the backbone of the, as I said, it's that line between order and chaos is the men and women in blue on the streets. Skip Doe, Kaya, can a liberal be a Second Amendment loving true American? I agree. Absolutely, they can be. You know, not everybody has a right wing, not everybody is red or blue, because there are folks out there, like you can be Democrat, but you can still have some conservative values. But at the same time, you can have very liberal values, right? Like let's say, I'm just going to give you this example. Some guy or gal can be a 100% Second Amendment loving, like gun loving, true American, but at the same time believe that abortion is okay. Do you see what I'm saying? You could have these different views. People have that. That doesn't mean you don't love your country. I would challenge anybody with that. Just because somebody doesn't agree with certain things doesn't mean they don't love the country. Like even when it comes to the Second Amendment, like I love the Second Amendment, and I argue with people all the time who says, "Oh, why do you need an AR-15?" But I don't blame some of those folks, man. Like this girl that I was hanging out with a week ago, we were drinking coffee and walking at a walk path, and she legitimately, she's an awesome person, great girl. She literally asked me, she's like, "Why do you? I understand the handguns and you carry it, protect yourself at home, but why would anybody need an AR-15?" When I looked at her, I was like, "It's not her. She just watched CNN. It's the stupid media and some of the corrupt people up there pushing that narrative, and people are buying it. They're buying it. People who don't know anything about guns, they're buying this thing, and it's our job to go out there and educate people as much as we can in our own circles." I told her, I was like, number one, because the Constitution says I can. Okay, so there's the Constitution. Why do you need a Ferrari? Your truck will get you to work. Well, guess what? Because you can. And number two, I obviously dove into more practical reasons, which was obviously an AR-15. Why? I asked her. I said, "Why does the military need an AR-15? Why do law enforcement need AR-15?" Okay, military, right? Because it is easier to shoot. You could be more stable. You could shoot it more accurately. You could reach further distances. At the same time, you could deliver a devastating punch over a handgun caliber, and you could eliminate or neutralize your threat quicker. Are those reasons not enough for you? She's like, "Yeah, but that's what cops need to do." I was like, "What about me? What about us?" As a police officer, I've gone to so many scenes. Most scenes I've gone to, people are already dead. I went out there and picked up the pieces. Well, so nobody takes care of you better than you. And if this weapon system is proven to get the job done quicker for me, so I can protect myself, I can give myself the best odds, why wouldn't I use that? And another reason is, well, bad guys do have AR-15s or other assault rifles that you say, or rifle caliber weapon systems. Well, why would I not myself give an advantage? Why would I put myself at a disadvantage with a stupid handgun? A guy's coming at my house with an AK. So many reasons. And when I said that to her, bro, she completely understood. She was like, "Oh, that all makes sense." But because I had to educate her with that, I had to give her some scientific data, and she absolutely understood. So there's so many folks like that. So that girl right there questioned the Second Amendment to a certain degree. That doesn't mean she didn't like her country. She was just misinformed. So, all right, we're done. I hope I'm doing a dark part of this. No, we're done. Moving on. All right. What else? Kaya, John Wick. Dude, hey, don't tell anybody. Just between us. We're going to go to Terran Tactical. That's classic. Shoot that John Wick Course of Fire. Keep it between us for now. Thanks for that. Kind of just kind of proves my point. Brew, if you're telling me, you bet, buddy. Moving on. Let's see what else we got. The reason the XM7 was made for armor. Yeah, XM7 was made for because the 5.56 was very limited when it comes to range and also the terminal ballistics capabilities. So the XM7 with the 277 Fury, 6.8 millimeter. That seemed to be the right caliber to go through an armor and still deliver effective terminal ballistics performance. Oh, shit. Randomly epic. Have you had enough time to think about the funniest story yet? Well, I don't know if it's it's funny. I don't know if it's the funniest story. Oh, I'll tell you two stories and they both involve shit. You tell me. You want me to tell you? It involves shit. The one that, Let me see. There's one. So a buddy of mine, I don't want to say his name. So we arrested this guy. It was a little drunk guy, nothing crazy. And he was just being disorderly, whatever. So we arrested this guy. I personally wouldn't arrest him. But my buddy just, again, he didn't like it. He's like, you know what? This guy's talking too much trash. You know what? You're it. That's it. You're under arrest. So when he threw the cuffs on him, so I helped him out. He threw the cuffs on him. The guy's like, I got to take a shit. That's what the guy said. He said, yeah, you're going to have to wait. We're going to go to the jail. He's like, well, how long does it take for us to go to jail? Because I got to take a shit. And my buddy's like, well, it's going to take as long as I need to. So my buddy still continued to be that guy. Not that he was wrong, but I feel like he could have just maybe done it better. Sat in the car and doing the report, doing this, all kinds of stuff, like killing time. And this dude is just banging on the wall, on the window. And then we're like, what? He's like, I got to take a shit. My buddy is like, you'll take a shit when you get to jail. Close the door. My buddy didn't believe him. What's up, Tactical Jawa? Welcome, dude. My buddy didn't believe him. And this dude is just calm. My buddy's talking to me, whatever. Like he's just dicking around night shift. And my buddy gets in the car. We're gonna leave. Like he's gonna drive down to the county. My buddy gets in the car and gets out immediately. Like, what's up? He's like, I can't get in that car. He shit his pants. I swear, like, we've all smelled shit. I've never in my life smelled shit that stunk that bad. It was so bad. Like, you open that car door, the whiff, the breeze would come to you. It was so bad. And guess what? So we called the paddy wagon. The paddy wagon came up. Paddy wagon picked him up. And this dude's shit fell through from his pants. A piece of shit was on the floorboard in the car. And that car stunk so bad that ruined the entire night of my buddy. He couldn't get that car, but he still had to get in that car to drive to the station. So he put the window down. He kind of stuck his head out, drove down to the station, and he had to turn that car in and move all of his equipment and go get a new car and get in the car. I don't know. I think he deserved it. And I remember I was laughing my ass off for quite some time. So there was a shit story. That's what happens, man. I wouldn't have arrested that guy. It was a little disorderly. Go home. But he did. And the guy shit in his squad car and ruined his night. So it was that. Tactical towel. Wait, Patrick. It isn't. Wish you were king. It would fit my misconception of physics. But 5.56 penetrates many types of body armor better than 308. What do you mean? I mean, 5.56 is very little. It's like a needle. It goes real fast. But I don't think so, man. A 308 has a better terminal ballistics than 5.56 all day long, man. Patrick, where's your data coming from? Share with me. I love ballistic stuff. But a 308 is just more devastating. I don't know. Some cars going by. Some fire truck. What else? Oh, we're coming back. We're coming to the end of my live stream. Time to grab the guitar. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, Dumpling. Dude, I'm now seeing this. Thoughts on the Springfield XDS. I've heard so many mixed things. I have a Springfield XDS 9. I bought it in 2013, I believe. Yeah. or was it 14? Whenever it came out new. And I've had it, I've never even had a jam. It ran fantastic. So I have nothing negative to say about it. Favorite story from the Bureau, you can tell, love a good story. Honestly, I can't, like, I 99% of the stuff I can't talk about, obviously, over there, because I did intel stuff. But counter intel, like overseas stuff. I don't want somebody to think like, oh, you spying on God-fearing Christians here in churches. No, I wasn't that guy. I didn't really have favorites. Like in the Bureau, I could tell you this. We were doing a hit one time. So we're on the stack. I'm the first guy. So, of course, the bang, bang, FBI open the door stuff, right? And the stack behind me, so there's me, this other guy, and then the third guy behind. I'm on the gun. And the lady opens the door, right? And so we're like, hey, you got to come out because we got an arrest warrant. We take the lady out, and the lady, of course, does, oh, what's going on? No, stop it, whatever. So I'm pulling security, so I pull her out, and I'm like, cuff her. You know, I just basically pass her on to the stack. The guy's behind me, so I'm pulling security there, waiting for, doing still call-outs, and then we're going to go in. Bro, I grabbed her, I pulled her, passed her down to the stack, and I'm on the gun pulling security. And next thing I know, the lady is grabbing my shoulder. Literally, she was right there, grabbing my shoulder. Of course, now that's very dangerous because now I'm moving my eyes off an area where I'm providing security. And this lady is not even cuffed. And the agent with her was like, ma'am, let me explain. Like, please, ma'am. Like, straight up just dicking around with her. So I literally just told this agent to my left, I said, you're on deck. You know, you pull security. So the agent took my position. I grabbed her, yanked her arms, threw her in cuffs, and passed her down. And I literally I didn't even tell any, like, it's not a favorite story, but it was a weird story. That I noticed that some of the agents that come on board with the Bureau with absolutely zero law enforcement background, which I can understand. Not everybody has to have it, but they're extremely lenient and straight up don't know what they're doing. Straight up don't know what they're doing. Reason why U.S. Army went with the new XM7. Wait, did the musician guy, did he respond? Wait, I think, did I miss that? Oh, wait, there you go. Patrick. Body instance, AR-500. There are lots of places where the magic isn't in velocity. Is in velocity, not mass. Yeah, but Patrick, I have personally fired 5.56, 7.2i39, and 51 onto body armors, different stuff. I even fired them on like stack of books and papers and stuff. 308 absolutely delivered a more devastating, further penetration, and the bulge would always be bigger. The hit would be harder. Obviously, just overall, because 308 is traveling very fast, it's a much heavier round. So, what's the velocity of an average 308? I forgot. What is from a 16-inch barrel and a 5.56, 55 grain is about 2,800 feet per second. From a 20-inch barrel, about 3,100 feet per second. 308 velocity, I forgot. Velocity depends on. I mean, look at 308 out of I don't know what the barrel length is here, but 308's traveling about 3,000 feet per second too. So you got something that's coming just as fast as the 5.56, but yet so much bigger. I mean, straight up, it's just superior to 5.56. Now, there are other calibers that are smaller. Maybe they'll have a better projectile, flight path for accuracy. But 308, dude, Patrick. I'm not agreeing with you on that one, man. 5.56 is not going to have a better terminal ballistics than 308. Yeah, their velocity is the same, very similar. What else? So 3,200 feet per second. Yeah. Okay. Well, now I want to do some testing on that one. Because anytime there's ballistic stuff, dude, I will never say no. So folks at Classic know me. Like guys I work, Clint knows this, Ryan knows this. I am not the tech. I don't care for technical talk of headspacing the bolt and doing this. That's fascinating too, but it doesn't really like tickle my brain, right? Ballistic stuff, tactical stuff, I geek out on that stuff. I love it. I love it so much. In fact, if I had my own, like I have my own YouTube channel and I sometimes do some ballistic stuff there, but mostly it's commentary on law enforcement stuff. But I sometimes, to this day, I think I should open my second channel and just do ballistic stuff just for fun. Not that there aren't any channels out there, because I just love that stuff so much. I love shooting at things and see what projectile with what gun does what kind of damage. I think it's so cool. So I would have loved to seen that, Patrick. But I'll do it. I've got the guard dog body armor. I'll talk to those guys. I'll get a body armor from them, and I'll just test it. Hey, you know what? Even actually forget the body armor. How about this? How about I just get some bunch of old law books, right? Same exact books. Fire 5.56 at one of them, and then fire 308 in the other, and see which one goes further into it. I know it's highly scientific, but it'd be cool. God Arik. 499. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Hey, man. Hey, me again. Heading to Navy basic training on the 25th. What should I expect? Also, what do you think about the Beretta M9 as an EDC? Beretta's M9, I mean, great. They are proven, reliable, awesome guns. If it works for you, and not my type, but if it works for you. As for Navy basic training on the 25th, well, first of all, thanks for joining the force. I'm not a prior military, so I can't speak much about that. However, I was a state trooper, and they did put me through a Marine Corps, mimicking the Marine Corps type basic whatever boot camp for 6 months. So I've learned a few things. And I'm sure folks who are prior military or current military, they'll probably be able to give you a lot better information than I can. But I can tell you this, absolutely shut up. Absolutely open your eyes. The sooner you get the protocols, the better it's going to be for you. And if you try to be an individual, you're going to get destroyed. You have to be in a team. You have to be a team player. You can't, it's just not about you. It's about the platoon, or it's about the group, the class. And don't be that guy. Like when they say don't be that guy that's up front and everything. And don't be the guy in the last either. Just be in the middle of the pack. Pull your own weight, help your classmates, and shut up. That's what I would say. That was my thoughts for when I was going through the state police boot camp. But I'm sure the guys could help you out better than I can. Go Navy. Did 6 years mainly with the Marines. Go SOCOM. Thanks for your service, Santos. Navy summer camp is easy. I wouldn't know anything about it, man. Oh, man. Let's see. What's Patrick saying? My AR-15 damaged my AR-500 targets more than my AR-10s? What? Okay, give us your ammo information and your barrel length information. That doesn't make it. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Patrick, that doesn't make any sense. That makes no freaking sense. Hold on. Wait, Banana Ballistics. There was a guy in Banana Ballistics. Ballistics. Looks like he's shadow banned. Banana Ballistics, 556 versus 308. I hope he did it. That freaking guy does everything. I love that guy. There you go. You ready for this? Folks, we're going to watch it together. All right, Patrick, this video is for you, man. Let's get this going. Hide the comment. All right, present.
Power off.
Share the screen. What? Why can't I? Oh, there you go. Entire screen. All right.
The brand new C3 plate.
Wait, why can't I?
Today's video, we are going to be putting it through its paces to see if it
Can
can
you guys hear
actually
this?
handle what
Real-
it's rated
real quick.
for, and maybe then some.
Just let me know if you can. And then I will. Yeah, you can. Okay. Hybrid plate. Hold on. This guy shoots. All right. What's he shooting first? All right.
Steel Sled 4.0. So I'm just going to set it up right here. All right, so I'm looking at the back of this 3/4 inch mild steel plate, and obviously the AP round went straight through. I mean, look at that. Come on now. The funny thing is that AP round was stopped cold on that C3 plate, which only weighs 7.02 pounds. This 3/4 inch little steel plate weighs way more than that, and you wouldn't even be safe. One round of AP ammo is super impressive for sure, don't get me wrong, but this is just the official NIJ rating. Armored Republic actually told me that this plate has multi-hit capabilities
let's
as
find out
long as
what
the
else we
shots are
got.
spaced out appropriately.
Hold on.
Wait, spaced? Unlike AR-500 armor
hear
steel
him
plates that can
computer
handle
trying to
multiple
look.
shots, they must be good. All right, Terry, you can be honest. Is this too much? No? Okay, let's check out the front. Whew, that one was super close to the edge. That was actually a bad shot on my part. These AP rounds are not accurate at all. I mean, it could definitely be me, but these AP rounds are definitely not accurate.
What is this?
There. This thing is the real deal. And out of this
Okay.
26 inch setup, we are getting some crazy.
He generally shows at the end, like comparison, like what happened to each one of them. There you go.
Get some good pictures, so let's go over the results. Alrighty, this was the first plate that we had shot with 4 M2 armor-piercing projectiles with the 308, and the first two, as you could see, were pretty consistent. The projectile did not go too deep into the UHM WPE backer. This one was right on the corner, which I think started pulling the UHM WPE backer off of the ceramic, and then this was the final shot. As super next plate, we had the 2 M855A1 projectiles, and as you can see, surprisingly, neither one of them got past the ceramic plate, which is absolutely insane. They only dented the UHM WPE backer. And on the ceramic plate face, the diameter of the compromised area measured in around 2
There you go,
inches.
dude.
And the
So-
last and final round was with
I mean, that's what I wanted to see, so we can stop sharing. Clearly, 308 did a way more damage than the 556 did, you know? Oh, that was too loud? Dude, I couldn't hear it for some reason. I'm sorry, StreamYard, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Yeah, they were both armor piercing. That's what he said. That's called Banana Ballistics. The dude's got a pretty cool voice, but I really like his content. Like anything ballistics, dude, I'll watch it. If you got a ballistics channel, I watch it. Ballistic High Speed, I watch those guys. They're amazing. Banana Ballistics, really cool. He just does this stuff. And obviously, Kentucky Ballistics, I watch some of his stuff. Edwin Sarkisian, I watch some of his stuff. I like stuff like that. So anyways, guys, I think we're coming to the end of tonight's live stream. It is 10 minutes, 11 minutes past 2 hours. And I think I'm just going to go get cleaned up and go to sleep. It's past my bedtime. It's 9:40. I generally am asleep by 10 p.m. I get up at like 5 or 6. Thanks, King. So, Vince, I appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Hopefully I got some new folks that came in. Javelin, thanks a lot. You guys have a good one. I hope it was informative. I enjoy, dude. I enjoy chatting with you guys. And next Wednesday, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. I'm getting out of here. Not playing the guitar because Patrick is here. When Patrick is gone, I'll play the guitar. All right? Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris, Mason, Steven, Tacdine. Thanks a lot. See you guys. I'm out. Steve, next Wednesday. You guys be safe and exercise your rights. Peace. Bye-bye.